All right. Normally you choose between these different groups. Right now we only have the Sentinel Strike that's available in the demo. We have our Morse, who is kind of our tank. You can see they have extra health, as well as a little bit more speed, and the Charge Logic. We'll get into that a little bit later, as well as D Hicks, who is our kind of shooter. They have the pistol. They have more accuracy than Morse, but less health, and they're also slower. So let's choose them. We don't need to inspect our units. Actually, we will look at the logic just so you get a lowdown on that. Our Morse has charge. That means that they're going to move towards the closest visible enemy and engage in melee combat with them. Hicks is going to stand still and shoot at the enemy. So we have a couple different mission types here. We have VIP, Kill the Hive, and then Intel missions, which are the most common. So we're going to be doing an Intel mission, going for that gear point. So we have a couple objectives here. The first objective is to locate the package, extract it. The person that picks up the package is going to be slower, have less accuracy, and less melee damage. And then our secondary objective is going to be locating the extraction point and getting our units out of there. If we don't get our units out of there, we do have to pay $2 to respawn them, which is going to be a real drain on our economy. And it's going to make every subsequent battle much more difficult. So we're going to be trying to get them out of there. At the start, these battles are quite simple. There's not a lot of rooms, and the enemies are quite easy. That's going to change as we go on. Yeah, so I have both of my guys on recon here. We can see Hicks is engaging in their logic where they're standing and fighting, shooting at the oncoming enemy. They're going to be searching these rooms. The pure black boxes means we don't know what's in the rooms yet. Everything else means that it has been explored. So we're looking for that package. As soon as we get the package, we're going to be extracting in that box with the arrow. That's going to take a couple seconds, so we want to make sure there's no enemies on our tail while we do that. All right, we have now found both the package and the stash. The stash is basically a box, and it gives us another extra credit if we get it to the end. So ideally we're going to be getting it to the end because we need that money. All right, I'm now going to be extracting Morse.
Moving out, sir.
You can see it's what's called an override command, just as collect is. It gives you a little bit more speed, but you're unable to engage in your logic while you're extracting. You can see that box is entirely blacked out. We want to extract Hicks as well.
Loud and clear.
And yeah, that's basically the game. You do the objective, try to stay away from the enemy. If you have to fight them, then you fight them, and then you extract out. Pretty simple. The gameplay loop was fun. I really enjoy the uniqueness of the game, and we're going to be getting into the ways that uniqueness plays out, and also it's a little bit broken down later on. So you can see we got $5 from just doing the mission, an additional credit from securing the package. So we have $6 now that we can buy gear. Right over here at the trading post, the one bag thing, if you want to look at the future of your battle plan and what other nodes you can get to, you can't leave this screen because if you do, you can't come back, which is a little bit unfortunate. So you're going to see inspect units, expect commands, and index at every station you're at. So the unique one is purchase equipment. So these are different suits that our guys can wear. Unfortunately, they're all pretty expensive, so we can only buy one. We have the Juggernaut Siege Plating, which gives you extra armor, which is kind of an extra health pool that isn't impacted by your health stems, but it makes them slower and it increases their melee damage. That might be good for Morse. We have Ghost Operative Frame, a little bit of armor, some speed, and some accuracy, which would be good for Hicks. And then the Pinpoint Targeting Suit, which gives a little bit of accuracy. It's not super good. So these last two is what we're going to be going for. Ultimately, we're going to want the Juggernaut Siege Plating. We're going to be giving that to Morse because that is our tank character, so they get extra health. They are a little bit slower, but that's actually good because they're going to be more in line with Hicks. So eventually when I use the group command and I attach Hicks to Morse, Morse isn't going to be outrunning Hicks quite so fast. And then of course the extra melee damage is going to be great as well. But we are out of money, so we're going to be returning it back to the navigation screen. So we're going to be doing a regular battle, trying to improve Hicks here. Alright, so search and destroy. I have to eliminate the hive. And then we get out of here. And there's going to be a package in here as well. There is at least one package in every map, and as the maps get more complex, there can sometimes be 2 or 3. So we immediately spot our bogey. There is a couple spawned, at least one spawned in every map, and again, as the maps get more complex, I think there can be 2 or 3 spawned. But those circle guys are quite easy. Yeah, there you go. We see another one. But our guys do not engage. I'm going to go ahead and get Morse to collect that stash. The only thing that decreases your stats when you pick it up is the package, which isn't in this map. So just getting the stash isn't going to affect our stats. So I try to just do it whenever I see it. Hicks has found that circled, but yeah, missing a lot of their shots. Unfortunately, your guys are basically stormtroopers in the early game, and whenever you hear that sound, that does mean an enemy has spawned. Now we are going to get Hicks firing while Morse engages in melee, which is just great, and looks like Hicks is going to be able to take out this Hive in a little bit. That red square is where the enemies are spawning from. It's pretty good to find that early on because you kind of know where the enemies are coming from. But yeah, I haven't found it early at this point. Alright, and now we will get that second stash. The next wave is spawning in 15 seconds. Every wave that spawns is going to be more difficult. So that's why I have both these guys on recon and not grouped together, because I want to get out of here as soon as I can. We're going to go ahead and extract Hicks. And now we're going to extract Morse as well. 3 seconds till that wave spawns. That enemy's going to be coming out the door immediately, which is unfortunate. Now, thankfully, Morse is our guy with the suit. They are a melee person, so they're going to be able to clear out these guys no problem. Now, they have lost all of their armor. Thankfully, that comes back every map. They're going to be able to clear this guy. The next wave spawns in 30 seconds, so we'll be fine. When they do engage in combat like that, they lose the extract command. So that's kind of part of the game. Part of the micro here is managing your commands. That's the only way you can, control your units, and it's in a very abstract notion, which I think is fun. It's kind of playing with the RTS genre, so you really have to give it points for originality, creativity. All right, so we get $4 and then an extra 2 for the 2 packages, ending with 6. And now we can increase our squad's accuracy. The only person I'm going to increase accuracy on is Hicks. Morse doesn't attack at all with their weapon. If I increase their logic, they will, but I don't think it's worth the $2 to do that. And you'll see what I mean by increasing logic when we get there. It'll actually be the next station. So we're going to do a regular battle mission. All right, so this is the 3rd type of mission. You have to locate the extraction point and get the VIP out of there. And then, of course, extract your deployed units as well would be nice. Okay, so we already start with a VIP deployed. We want to protect them. They're not super great. Their logic is flee. So they run away without firing, which is really annoying. Their melee isn't so good. Their range isn't so good. They're pretty slow, and they don't have a lot of health. So overall, pretty garbage unit. We want to find that extraction point as quick as possible. So to facilitate that, I'm going to be spawning my guys in different rooms. But I'm going to be... our VIP, I'm going to retask to recon, and then I'm going to retask our Hicks person, which is the stand and fight, so they're shooting, which is going to pair well with the VIP, to follow the VIP while they're doing recon. And of course, Morris is going to be reconning on their own. So the VIP is really slow, unfortunately, so they're not great at reconning, but the good thing about them is... yeah, I just want to keep them together with Hicks, and if the VIP is grouped with Hicks, they're going to get, left in the dust, which is not going to be great. Thankfully, the maps are still pretty simple. We should find that extraction point pretty quickly here. We already have found 1 package. Yeah, only 2 more rooms to clear. So hopefully our VIP is finding the extraction point, and it's not all the way down in the bottom right side of the map. That would be unfortunate. Yeah, looks like Morse is going to be engaging with them in melee. All right, that is the extraction point. Extract the VIP, extract Hicks. We're going to clear this last room. Perhaps there's a package in there. That'd be nice. If there's not, okay, it's an enemy. And there's nothing else in that room. So as soon as they finish this combat, I'm going to be extracting Morse as well. Unfortunately, the one bad thing about this game, which I'm sure you've noticed so far, is it is pretty easy. It is just a demo, of course, and you're not really expected to know the mechanics, but it's my 3rd playthrough now, so I'm getting decent at it. And I've kind of noticed, yeah, it's a little easy, especially the early game. Later game, it starts to get more interesting. Let's look at recruiting units. Now, hiring new units, you can only do 1, and they're free, which is nice. Because the game really opens up when you get that 3rd person. And you're going to see, they all have the same logic. There's a really great logic where you shoot and flee. Fantastic. Unfortunately, these guys don't have it. All right, so we just have charge, strike. Ooh, Wallace is great. Their health is a little bit lower than the rest of them, but their speed is up. Their melee is super good. It's almost as good as Morse's, who's buffed by the suit. Yeah, big fan of them, and their accuracy is pretty low, but they're not going to be using that gun. And you can see, yeah, no new hiring options. All right, so now let's modify our logic, which this is the genius part of the game. It's where the game all comes together. It's super, super smart. The devs were great for doing this because It is a direct upgrade, but it's done in a way where you're not just improving stats, you're improving the way the units move and think in combat, which is kind of where the game shines. So if you have the charge logic, that's going to be changed to run and gun, where you're shooting at the closest enemy before engaging in melee with it, which is nice, right? If you have a pistol, you might as well use it. You suppress if you have stand and fight, which basically you're still remaining stationary shooting at the enemy, but now the enemy loses force speed, which actually slows them down a decent amount because the enemy is not super fast. Suppress is going to be great for Hicks. So I'm going to be giving them suppress, and we're going to be leaving the screen. Now we have 3 guys, which is fun, and we're going to be going on that regular battle mission, and you're going to see the map has expanded, and yeah, now we can place 3 guys down. Here's what I'm going to do. Wallace, I'm going to put with Hicks, who is our suppression guy. And then Morse I'm going to have by themselves because they have the suit. They have a bunch of health. They have the extra armor. And they're great at melee. Yeah, they can be together. And then I'm going to have Hicks work with Wallace. So I'm going to give them the group command. Boom. And so we're still going to have 2 groups reconning. Oh, wow. Hicks can go ahead. Actually, I'm going to have Wallace go ahead and collect the package. That is going to be stopped by the enemy, unfortunately. I'm going to have to tell him to do it again. I'm going to have to tell him to do it again. Even though we don't know where the extraction point is, I really don't want to have to backtrack all the way back to gain the package. Even though we are losing melee, given that they're grouped together, they should be able to handle any enemy combat just fine. Yeah, and you can... Morse just shreds. Honestly, I wish I could get them a melee weapon. Unfortunately, it's not in our future, which is a little sad. Okay, we do have the extraction point, so I'm gonna go ahead and extract Wallace, and then I'm gonna retask Morse. I'm gonna retask Hicks to Morse, because Morse is kind of failing. Oh, we really want that extra credit, but I don't know. The next race spawns in 30 seconds. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get the package and extract in time. It's a little bit of a gamble, but I'm going to be trying it. I wish Hicks was a little bit faster. I'm also at a bit of a better weapon. The pistol's not bad, but it's low on damage. Alright, now that they're grouped together, they should be a little bit more of a potent fighting force. Ooh, that enemy wave's going to come out right on top of them. But oh gosh, there's the other spawner right next to each other. Oh, and there's no package. Okay, so I would extract them normally, but it overrides their logic, which means Hicks wouldn't be shooting enemies before they closed in, which is bad. And we've used all our health stems. So I'm going to wait a little bit, extract them. They are probably going to run into the enemy. But perhaps not. I haven't really kept track on the doors that are opening. Okay, enemies south.
Bogey inbound.
Bogey is inbound. And I can't retask. This is because of the override command. They already have that command, which is unfortunate. But the enemy, we do break line of sight. The enemy doesn't know where we are. Again, baby, no object permanence. So now I'll show you the elite battle mission. I figured I was going to try to avoid it, but I figured, hey, if this is going to be a showcase review, we might as well. So these are pretty complicated. They're going to be as complex as the last battle in the game, or almost as complex. You have to locate the package and then get out of there with the VIP, which is a lot. But it's 8 credits. Okay, so we're going to have 4 guys here, because we have the VIP as well. Again, VIP is garbage, low health, low speed, and they have the fleet mechanic, which is garbage. We want to find the package and extract as soon as possible. I'm not going to worry about the stash. We want everyone on recon. Initially, we are just trying to get out of here as fast as possible. We're going to go ahead and get Morse to collect that the package. Oh, there is another stash we can collect. I don't know where that is. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to give recon to VIP, get them moving, because we know the extraction point isn't near.
I can't fucking hold it. I'm hit.
We're going to go ahead and group Wallace with Hicks now.
Right, it's over for now. Right away, sir.
We're going to inject that health stem. There we go. Alright, so not great. We're already having to use a bunch of health. Honestly, might as well go ahead and use that.
Okay.
I don't want Hicks to die.
Fuck. Contact.
Alright. Thankfully, we are going to be able to get some shots on that guy. Actually, eliminate them before. We really need to find this extraction point. Now, the game, I think, spawns it as far away from you as possible. But you can't route your units to to do recon as far away as possible. They just do recon wherever. Go ahead, get that stash, buddy.
Enemy contact.
We want to find the package and extract as soon as possible. I'm not going to worry about the stash.
Alien threat incoming. We've got trouble. They're all over
Oh,
me.
VIP's in combat. That's no good. Let's go ahead, extract everybody. We did find the extraction point.
Where are we going, Commander?
Messed around with the commands there. Unfortunately, that is the one thing I have. The retesting the command, sometimes I can get lost in the menu a little bit. I think that's kind of a personal stupidity thing. But maybe if it was a little bit more clear, because sometimes I think I accidentally trigger it. Anyways, awesome. So we secured the package, we extracted the VIP, and we got all our units out as well as 2 extra stashes. So 15 credits at the end of that. Super, super nice. So we're rolling in the dough. We need to either increase our unit speed, which is kind of expensive for a little benefit, because you're only increasing by 1, and they already start with 20 something, so it's really marginal benefit. But if we do melee, we're gonna have to go into another elite battle. Yeah, let's increase our melee, because you know what, Wallace needs to be a little bit better. How far do I improve these? Maybe Wallace another time and call it good. And we'll do Morse another time. Oh, I love spending money. Okay, it doesn't matter what we do here. Elite battle mission it is. We're putting Wallace with Hicks, although Wallace is better now, but still, they still have the same health. They're just doing better damage. Yeah, and you can see just how big these maps are getting now. It's taking a lot of time to work through them, especially when you're having guys sitting around collecting stashes. But we seem to be doing well so far. We already found 1 enemy entrance, so that's good. Kind of keep tabs on that. Wave spawning in 20 seconds. We do have a decent amount of time before they get in here, and we can already collect that 1 package. I'm going to go ahead and give Wallace that, because I'd rather have the accuracy than the... Yikes. And Hicks is in melee combat. Sometimes the best laid plans go poorly. And, alright, Hicks is spawning in right on an enemy, but again, they're quite good. Don't have to worry about that too much. We have found the extraction point as well, so we need 1 more package here. But I'm feeling good. 5 seconds to the next enemy spawn. We haven't taken too much damage. We still have 1 stem. Yeah, it's going pretty well for us. The next enemy wave has spawned here. We kind of want to get out before the next one spawns. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. We are moving more slowly now. But, again, we got 3 guys, 2 melee in a range, and we're able to kind of, yeah, put the pain on them.
Don't drop your guard.
So, intel's going to be in this last room, and then we're going to mass extract everyone. 5 seconds to the next wave. Yeah, those enemies are going to be coming in behind us. There's going to be 1 in front of us that we're going to have to catch there, which isn't great.
Hostile approaching.
Yeah, but with Wallace and Hicks,
I can't hold them
or with Wallace and Morse both being melee, it should be fine. Actually,
Tango is
Morse just gets out of there. See, Wallace is taking a bunch of damage, even though they started with a lot of health. Ooh.
Got it.
Yeah, give Wallace a health stem. They might go down here.
Get it off me.
That would be quite unfortunate. Oh, more enemies have spawned.
Enemy down.
Get out of here. Get out, get out, get out. Thankfully, we did suppress the enemy. So, a slow enemy is already moving slower. We're out of health stems. Wallace is almost dead. 5 health. But again, no object permanence. Once we get in this room and close the door, it's lights out for our enemies. And we should be just fine. So, that got close. But the worst thing, I think the consequences for the game are too little. It's 2 coins to resurrect people. I've only ever lost people once. So maybe later on, like every subsequent death, it costs more to clone. That wouldn't really make sense in the lore, but gameplay wise it would. Alright, but let's buy some equipment. Let's get rat rifle or sap rifle. So sap is just a sniper. Not going to be really useful at all. Rat rifle might... I'll have 1 more opportunity to upgrade my unit's logic. In which case I can make sure that Morse and Wallace are shooting before they engage in melee. So I'm going to go ahead and buy the rat rifle. Give it to Wallace because they have the better accuracy. And call it a day. Alright, we have a regular battle mission before our last stop and then the final battle. So let us get into it. The illusion of choice right there. Extraction point with a VIP. disgustingly simple after our lead battles. And I really do love how the units talk to you too. That's fun. No signs of trouble, bogey spotted, help him in danger.
Hostile in sight.
You know, it's little things, but I think it's good. It's good to see voice acting in you know, a small indie game like this. I think it really adds a lot to the environment that you don't normally get. Again, for budgetary reasons, it makes sense. And it's not like there's a ton of voice lines in here either. But again, it is a demo. I just really love the style of it so far. These CRT-esque monitors, you know, where you have the distortion, you can see the grime on the screen. It really kind of puts you into the mindset of the dispatcher role, which I think is super fun. I'm gonna go ahead and give our VIP recon so they start moving.
Tango is tow. Proceeding
Wallace is losing some health. It's okay.
Visual confirmation
Oh.
of hostile.
Tango is toast.
Command.
Our VIP is taking damage, so we're going to go ahead and get Hicks back there. 30 seconds to the next wave. The bogeys are all the way in the bottom right. We're going to be fine here. And there you go. Almost a perfect mission, except for the VIP scare at the end there. That was a little goofy. I left them alone too long. They do definitely need a babysitter. So $6 there. A little bit less than what we used to be seeing with $10 from the elite missions, but hey, what are you going to do? All right. So the final soldier will be hired. They're going to be garbage because we can't upgrade them after this, but hey, what are you going to do? Oh, and here we go. O. Brooks has a fallback command, which means that they're going to be running away from units as fast as they can. When they're backed up against a wall, they're going to start shooting. If you upgrade their logic, they start shooting while they're falling back, which is just kiss. It's perfect. Why not get another melee guy, you know? Come here, Bennett. All right, now we can modify logic again, which again, I think is the best part of the game. And we do have enough money to upgrade everyone, so run and gun for all three of these guys. They're going to be shooting before engaging. Is it going to be doing a ton of damage? No. Especially because these guys just have pistols, except for Wallace, but hey, it's, we're trying here. All right, and the boss battle mission combines everything you've learned from these runs. You have to locate the package, gather all the intel, eliminate the hive, and then get to the extraction point. The only thing here is not the VIP. Thankfully, that would be a pain. Where do we want to put our guys? It's nice to spawn apart from each other, because then they can recon faster. We'll have them all recon initially. When things start to get hairy, we're going to be getting them out of here, grouping them up and stuff. Let's finish our deployment. See how it goes. We spawn right next to where the enemy's spawning in 40 seconds, which is not encouraging, but it's nice to know. All right. And we want Bennett to be with Morse so they can get that hive down. We have found a piece of intel, which is good. They can get that effort to take down the hive. That's so good we're already taking down the hive, because the hive, I think it's also spawning stuff too. Morse can go ahead and get the intel. All right, and we can get another piece of intel here with Wallace.
Orders confirmed.
And I think when Hicks, figures out this room, I'm gonna retask them to group up with Wallace.
The silence is unsettling.
Target acquired. Objective in sight.
You can see, they're taking that guy down.
Proceeding as orders. Target executing objective.
Yeah, before the target even reaches them, which is great. All right, Hicks gets that package.
Understood. Executing now.
And all we got to do is find the extraction point now, and we'll be golden. So let's go ahead and retask. Everyone go to... Nope. All right. Well, they're just going to be meandering around. They're mostly grouped up here. They're grouped up with Bennett right now. Let's try to get everyone to group up with Bennett. There we go. And then all we need is Morse to group up with Bennett. You can kind of see what I'm saying. When you get a bunch of units, it's kind of getting harder to manage all the commands. But I guess that's just part of being good at the game, right? If I'm complaining about the game being too easy, I can't also complain about it being kind of difficult to juggle the commands. But I do struggle with it a little bit when we have 4 units. Thankfully, there's no VIP that I also have to juggle. Gosh, that would be a pain. But yeah, with them all moving together, I mean, they're just going to wipe any amount of units. And all we have to do is find the package now.
For now.
Sorry, we have the package. We just got to get out with the package. So finding that extraction point would be nice. We're going to have to backtrack all the way around this loop if the extraction point isn't up here, which it is.
Tango in sight.
I don't know. The Xeno's rough. Nope, it's not up here. Unfortunately, again, you wish your units were a little bit smarter, like Morse is running in without waiting their guys to clear the corner. But that's part of the game, right? The abstraction away. You got to leave the soldiers to their own devices, right? How annoying would it be as a you know, I don't know, as a firefighter, if you're being managed by your dispatcher the whole time, you know, micromanage. Put the ladder here, 5 inches to the left. Instead, you kind of just got to leave them doing what they're doing. Because it is kind of, you're like a dispatcher. Except instead of 911, it's alien bugs. And
Visual on target.
I think they're in a spaceship. I really actually don't know what's going on. Oh, gosh. Wallace needs a bit of a stem there.
I need backup.
Hicks is doing good with the
Identified.
suppression. They got to turn around, though. Again, it would be nice to tell Hicks to turn around. There we go. Oh, wow.
Found something.
All right, let's get everyone out of here.
Carrying out orders.
Give Wallace a stem for good luck.
Acknowledged.
And we have done it, folks. Completed the game. No deaths. Again, the third time I've done this, so you can see the game gets pretty easy, especially as you get more units. By the time you get this fourth one, you're just rolling. But hey, yeah, exceptional performance. Thank you. Really, overall, I think the game's incredible. I really, really want to see where it goes. I'm excited. The demo's coming out. If they're releasing it into early access now, it'd be much too early because there's just not enough depth. I think kind of once I finished my second run, I was basically done with the game. And you can see I haven't really mastered it, but I've gotten good enough where I'm not, you know, I'm not losing people. So that risk, the stakes aren't there. But again, I really like the concept of the game. It's a lot like Kill a Ton, which I also reviewed a couple months ago. It's abstracting you away from micromanaging. It's not in the grand strategy kind of way, but in the dispatcher role kind of way, which is really fun. It's fun to see your units move. It's fun to hear them talk to you. It kind of feels, I think if you worked a little bit on that, more voice lines, maybe like XCOM where they even have backstories where you kind of get ingratiated with your unit, and it sucks to see them die and have to clone them, right? That might feel a little weird. I think that could be really fun. But yeah, it's solid right now. It's a solid demo. I think everyone who watches this video and came away with a good impression, you should wishlist it on Steam right now, so you get notified when the demo comes out and then when they release in early access. If you did enjoy this review, make sure to subscribe because I think I'll be doing some more of these in the future. It's been a lot of fun. Hope you did enjoy. I'll see you all later. Adios.